we're actually getting to some solutions of Microsoft. I can understand why a person would be upset if they can't figure out documentation, and on the other side of an internet protocol, they know that there are a whole bunch of 15-year-olds who are masters at it. Worse yet, the thing is that those are 15-year-olds who have a habit of wearing cosplay all day. That can be seen as a slug to the face. That would be a difficult issue for most men to deal with. The solution runs into a couple of things. We really need to know why there is this weird thing about these devices. Why there are, see, the thing is, it's a kind of a large problem. Why there are all these people everywhere saying nonsense about computers. And why is this nonsense about quadrilateral primitives and stuff like that? We need to investigate why all this nonsense is being said. Second, we need to see what kind of correction methods can be used. People, of course, want to save Windows. It works. Largely, all this malware that's creeping up, that will be the result of incorrect implementation of ChatGPT and this idea that I just scan a database and you have the computer apply it, and not understanding what happens when a computer is smarter than a planet. Of course, what people such as Steve Wims and his team would want to do is redesign the system from the ground up. Because any moron knows that Windows has become some cosplay troop's grand fantasy of fairy immortality. No one who is not running some type of performance of spites that is used accepts that. What is obviously happening is these people are getting these drafts from China of ever-increasing complexity, probably with little notes on the side, teasing all this stuff like, can you beat us? Can you beat us? Can you beat us? And here, the problem would also be them running a super math and basically, and here's the thing, you can't access the original system anymore. There is no way to just write regular 8088 or 8286. Because the thing is, you can't even write 8386. You can't even just write 8386 some language. You can't even make an emulator anymore. You can't do the basic of basic. The thing to do would be to listen to these people and see what type of system they're actually envisioning. If they cannot do the technical, they can do the descriptive. If they can't do that, they can do the imagination. Minecraft says a lot in this context. Minecraft says a lot about the build methodology of these people. We need to include that. Also, the entirety of the Microsoft security, I'm going to ignore that because that's something else that, is easily defeated because the thing is that's just dumb. I'm going to look into the actual community of these people who actually want to make Windows into a usable product. Not worrying about, who did what in the past. I know how to rest these systems. I know how to emulate, how create dependable systems that can start to put together reasonable systems. And it will not be long before the actual American Microsoft has a product that's going to force the Chinese to comply because I can force them to comply. Regarding the piano, the previous one, anyone can play that. Doesn't need no discussion. Please. The following is irritating to anyone who actually wants to do art. Its answers like this. The question is, what video game do you feel best defines the concept of computer games? And then they say something like Phantasy Star Online or Final Fantasy or Final Fight or Fatal Fury 7. Of course, all those video games are basically, yeah, they're super fantasy depictions of, super androids or super emulation goddess or whatever that is. The problem is that may be an end goal. Yeah, for like 2,500 or more, preferably, 5,000 or 8,080. Let's hope. So if I had a computer, I had too many turbo buttons on the computer. A sane answer to that question would perhaps be, what I'm about to say. This, of course, was always possible, with these systems. Just by, there's a button on it for exactly this purpose. The first task is this. Get some construction paper and make this. Of course, it's easy to do, but in doing that, you start to understand, video games. So let's do that. Okay.